I'm back! I know I've been gone for a while, but I'm back and I'm so happy to be filming this tutorial on this cut crease. I hope you guys enjoy it, and if you like what you see, keep watching. Let's get started. I'm going to be prepping my eyes with Urban Decay's Primer Potion. Using a primer on your eyes will always help your eyeshadow last longer, and this specific primer will help the eyeshadow glide nicely along your lid. Now, using the Morphe 350 palette, I'm going to be using this nice light color shade to set the primer on my lid. Using a MAC 217 brush, I'm going to buff that in all over the lid. This will help set your primer. Now moving on with a Coastal Scents N05 brush, we are going to use this light neutral shade to start building our crease. Now what you want to do is you want to make a nice transition for your cut crease. Although we do want sharp lines, you don't need to be so particular because later on we'll be able to clean it up. Now I'm going to be putting a light shade, and little by little we're going to be building it up. I, however, have hooded eyes, so I need to make my crease just a little higher, because if I were to do it where my actual crease is, then it would be covered, and I really want my eyes to have a nice defined cut crease. Now as you can see, I'm using a more detailed brush. That's a Coastal Scents N12 brush. It's a little smaller, and what I'm going to be doing with that is building up that color so that we can have a nice gradient effect and not so much of a sharp line. And then slowly blending all those colors upwards so that we can have that nice sharp line towards the crease, and then a nice gradient towards the eyebrow. Later on, as far as the sharpness go, we'll be able to clean that up, but as for right now, just play around with colors. Now I'm going to be going darker and darker and darker just until I get the right color that I'm looking for. Ladies, you can use whatever color your heart desires, but for today, I'm going to be using neutral tones. Now, as you can see, as I continue to apply color, I'm going to go in with the MAC 217 brush, and I'm just going to blend that in to make sure that we have beautiful transitions. And when all else fails, keep blending until you're happy with your outcome. And now moving on with Ochre's Paint Pot from MAC and a Coastal Scents N51 brush. What we're going to do is we're going to carve out those sharp lines from our cut crease and really blend that in downwards towards your lash line. Now because it is a cream base, we're going to go back to our Morphe palette and we're going to apply this nice light shimmery shade to give it a nice contrast from the dark neutral brown colors that you have above. And we're just going to pat that in and make sure that we give ourselves a really nice space and contrast from our cut crease. And then adding a little bit on our brow bone and then blending that in to make sure we have nice transitions. Now for liner, I'm going to be using both Tarte's Clay Paint Liner and NYX's Super Skinny Marker. Now I'm going to start with the clay liner and a MAC 213 brush, and I'm going to create my wing by making a line and making sure that it goes upwards with my cut crease, and then making sure it goes straight across like a straight line. Now ladies, for some of us this could be the hardest part. The only thing I could suggest for those that are beginning to do liner is Scotch tape. Scotch tape will be your best friend. You can apply that on your lower lash line going upwards in the angle that you desire, and then applying the liner, and when you take off the Scotch tape, you have beautiful sharp lines. Now I'm going to go back in with the Super Skinny Marker from NYX, and I'm going to sharpen those lines and make sure that I have an ultimate black liner. And then of course I'm going to curl my cow lashes. I'm obsessed with curling my lashes because fortunately I have no bend. And then I'm going to use my favorite mascara from Max Factor, which they do not sell in the US. I'm so sorry, but I do have it imported from Colombia. And now that I realize that did absolutely nothing, so I'm going to finish the other eye. Perfect. And then we're going to apply lashes, because let's be honest, curling and putting mascara on mine didn't do anything, and who doesn't like falsies? So again, ladies, with lashes, you apply it in the center first, and then you're going to attach the outer corner and the inner corner later. Now I have these clamps that I bought from Tweezerman, and what they are is they're helpful when it comes to one, applying them, and two, making sure that they transition nicely with your natural lashes. You see? Super cute. Now that we're all done with the eyes, we're going to go in with foundation. I'm going to use my Morphe E44 brush, and I'm really going to blend in the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. I tend to go in circular motions and patting in foundation just to really buff in that foundation and to make sure it gives you that flawless look instead of making it look like you're too cakey. Now when that's all done, I'm going to go in with one of my favorite, if not the favorite, concealer. It's the Maybelline Age Rewind concealer, and I'm just going to add that under my eyes, in the middle of my forehead, and maybe a little bit on down the bridge of my nose and my cupid's bow, because why not? And then I'm going to blend that in with a Coastal Scents S26 brush. I didn't use a beauty blender today just because I was too lazy to clean them. But this brush is nice because it just really blends it in and it doesn't make it too heavy, and it makes sure that the product goes on very nicely. I also liked it because I wanted to make sure that I had sharp edges across my liner without destroying my wing liner. All done. Now I'm going to set it with Laura Mercier's translucent powder that I had put in my own little capsules, and I'm going to dab that in with a Morphe E48 brush. I want to make sure I apply it right under my eyes first because I don't want it to crease, and then I will apply it on areas that I will typically get oily in. Ladies, you don't have to set your whole face. However, if you want to set it in and really give you that matte sheen, then you can do that. I just tend to basically just cover the areas that I feel I get oily in, but I mean, to each his own. Now I'm going to finish my eyes by going back with a MAC 217 brush and really buffing in that transition color I used earlier. I then decided I wasn't too happy with how it was going on, so I was going to go with a Coastal Scents N05 brush because I feel like it's just a little easier to apply. Once I put in my transition color, I then went in with a MAC angled brush, which I don't know the number to because the number has washed away. After doing that, I'm going to then wipe away any excess and then continue with the other eye. And then once that's done, I'm going to go back in with my super skinny marker pen from NYX, and I'm going to make sure to just darken the edges. They got just a tad bit of powder on them, and make sure that they're nice, sharp, and block. And once that's done, I'm going to go into my Tarte lip palette and I'm going to add this shimmer for highlight. All done with the eyes. And now I'm going to go in with some contour. I'm going to use these three shades from MAC. One is Bone Beige, the other one's Sculpt, and the third one I'll write in the description box. I'm going to apply it with a Morphe M402 brush. I'm going to dab a little bit of each, and I'm going to go in an angled way. Now I'm going to go upwards towards my ear. As you can see, I'm going to go up, and I'm going to go from the mid of my cheek to the back of my hairline. And I'm just going to build that up in a back and forth motion and circular to really blend that in. Now to really go in a little further as to where I contour, why I contour, and how I contour, as you see, I'm going to go straight down. I don't want to attach my contour all the way to the lip. I want to go upwards towards my cheek, because when you smile, your cheeks do a little bit of a curve, as you can see from my chubby cheeks. So you want to go down and then curve it upwards. Do not attach it to the lip. Now I like to go back and forth, and then once the contour is done, I want to add a little blush and color to my cheeks. But I'll do that after I finish contouring the rest of my head. Now put a little bronzer or contour on the hairline of your hair, so it's not just an abrupt white going into your hairline. And then you can go in and add your blush. Today's blush, I'll be using Peaches from MAC, which is if not my favorite, one of my favorites to use for my cheeks. It has more of a pinky peach sheen, which is not too pink because I'm not a fan of pink, but I do love myself some peach. And once that's all done, we're gonna go on to my favorite part. Highlighter from Becca in Opal. Now I'm going to apply that on my hand and then dab some on the upper bone of my cheeks, and I'm just going to blend that in with my finger. Because it is cream base, it's going to be easy to blend and move around, but you have to make sure that you apply it on the high points of your cheek. That is where the sun will most likely hit your face. And because I'm just a little too obsessed with highlighter, I'm going to add a little bit more. Now, places you would typically add highlighter would be the top of your cheekbones, your cupid's bow, down the bridge of your nose. You can also add a little bit on the higher points or inner corners of your temple bone, which is towards your forehead. And some people like to add it a little bit on their brow bone. I decided to go a little ham with my highlighter, so I'm going to go with the Soft and Gentle from MAC, and I'm going to apply that with a Morphe M510 brush. And once that's all done, I'll be a highlight queen. Yay! And now for lips. I decided I was going to use two different colors, so of course I'm going to mix it up. I'm going to be using these two shades, and I'm going to blend it in to one. And then going to use my lip liner called Stripdown from MAC and make sure I outline those lips. And once that's all done, I'm going to apply my lipstick. Now again, ladies, you can use whatever color your heart desires. Today I decided to go for neutral tones. I'll scare you guys another day with my crazy colors, but today it's all neutral all the way. I feel like the eye has a very dramatic look, so I want to make sure I don't put too much on the lips because the eyes are doing all the talking today, honey. And just like that, the look is done. So this is a finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed the video as much as I enjoyed making it for you. For a list of all the products mentioned or used, don't forget to check down below in the description box. And if you enjoyed what you watched, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and to subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and don't forget to check back for more tutorials. Bye guys!